Alright, what is up YouTube? This is Lifter Up, and today I'll be showing you guys how to change the oil. And it's really a simple process, but a lot of people have been asking me, so I'll show you guys. Since I did a how-to on it, clean your oil filter, oil control valve filter, and you guys wanted more how-tos, so I'll show you guys. So what do you need? You need a jack stands, which I got under the car, your oil. And the oil you're supposed to use is 5W30. So if you go to the store, make sure you get 5W30. And if you want even more, how should I say it? If you want more premium oil, you get full synthetic. Or you can cheap out and just get regular. But like always, I take care of my baby, so I have to make sure it uses something high quality. So Castro Edge, Mobile 1. So yeah. And then you need your oil filter. So I'm using this Fram. And before you guys hate on me for using Fram, just do your research. If you're using regular Fram oil filters, it's really bad. You can also get with K&N, but if you do research on Fram Ultra Synthetic and you look at the pleats and everything and the build quality, it's up there with the more premium models. So I'm just letting you guys know that before you guys hate on me. And on top of that, I had this car for 4 years. Been using Fram, the gold, the ultra synthetic, the more expensive one, for those 4 years, and my engine is still healthy. And I did a compression test not too long ago, and all cylinders are still 210. So say what you want, I did a compression test. The compression for the engine is still at 210. So that goes to show you that if you take care of your engine, it will last. Anyways, how do you jack up your car? So there's a lot of methods you can search up on YouTube, but the easiest method is right here. If you look right there, that's your subframe. So what do? You get your jack and jack up the subframe. And then right after you jack up the subframe, I'll come over here. Right after you jack it up from the subframe, you have this line right here, and this is where you're supposed to jack it up normally. And if you look, you'll see spots where it's called, I don't know what the proper term is, but a lot of people call it like tubes. And you'll see it, and you just put the jack under there, or you put the jack stands under there, and you slowly drop the jack from over there. You slowly drop that until it sits on this, and you want to make sure it's on a flat surface. You want to make sure it's high enough. Alright, so here comes a big question. How do you change the oil? Lifter Up, or David, that's my name. Well, to change the oil, it's really simple. First, you'll sorry, there's a car, so I have to look. But first, you take off your oil filter. But before you do that, get your thing to catch your oil. So you need a container to put your oil in. Ignore that plane. You come under here, so here's my grill, right? Under the car, under the engine, there's your oil filter. And you grab your container. So here's the oil pan, here's the filter, and you just twist this off. And a lot of times it will be hard. So a trick you'll use is you'll buy kind of like pliers to wrap around here, and then it'll grip it, and then it'll come off. Or you buy a little cup where the cup will just sit on it, or grab it and then twist it off. Or if you guys don't have any of those, the easiest way is to grab a flathead, put the flathead on, and then hammer it in, and then twist it. Alright, so I'm back. But I got my oil filter wrench because it was kind of tight. So this is how it looks like. And I loosened it. As you can see, it's pretty beat up. And so here's your oil pan, or here's my oil collector pan thingy. And then here is the oil filter. So you twist that off. Careful. There you go. You see the oil draining. You twist that off. If you don't want your hands getting dirty, then get gloves. Oh. Okay, don't do that. Just let it drain for a bit. Okay, so while that's draining, you grab your new oil filter and your oil. Dip your hand in there. Get some oil on your fingertips. So I got a little bit of oil, and just put it around the gasket. And the reason you do that is to allow they say it's to make it easier to remove the oil filter, but yeah. So you just do that because of that. And then this is up for debate, but what I like to do is I just fill it a little bit. I just fill this a little bit, like halfway full of oil, so it doesn't dry start, which means that it doesn't start with no oil in here. And that's up for debate. People say that you don't have to do that, but I do it as a precaution. Unless your oil filter is upside down, you know, some cars do that, then you don't have to, but I just do it as a precaution. Okay, so I got my new oil filter. And I got this, and I wiped under. Oh, there's more oil coming out. So you wipe under here, grab your new oil filter, and you just twist it on. So twist on your oil filter. Alright, so I screwed my oil filter in. Ignore it's a little dirty because I had oil in my hand. And then here's the oil pan. So in order to drain the oil, you have to remove that nut, and that nut is a 14mm nut. So you grab your wrench, or if you're using a socket, grab your socket, but I recommend a wrench. And remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. So loosen it. Okay, so you loosen it, and then this is where you gotta be careful if you don't want oil on your hand. And you just drain the oil. So, alright, one. Okay, never mind. Fail, but there's the oil. Here's the nut, and you just don't lose the nut. Okay, guys. Okay, that didn't sound right, but here's the nut. Don't lose it. And just let the oil drain. So, what I like to do is I just let it sit. Or I just let it sit until there's like barely any drops coming out. And the reason you change the oil by yourself is because if you go to those oil filter shops where they charge you $20 to change the oil, they don't even drain out all the oil. And for comfort, I like draining out all the oil because, yeah. Okay, so it's been 5 minutes. You can wait longer if you want, but the oil is practically drained. So what you do is you grab your towel and you wipe that. You wipe the oil that's coming out. So when the oil drains, you just twist it back. You just twist this back on. And let me give it a wipe. So you twist this back on. And then this is the mistake a lot of people make when they change the oil, is that they tighten it too tight. So rule of thumb is tighten it, and then so it's tight, and then one extra push. There you go. And that's, I like to call it hand tight. And if you do this and you notice oil is leaking, then you just come back down and tighten it a little bit more. But hand tight, you don't want to strip the threads, and that's the #1 mistake people make. Okay, so after the oil is drained, the next thing you do is you have to fill it up. So the Celica uses 4.8 grams, or not grams, what? 4.8 liters of oil. So I buy a 5-liter jug. It'll get you there. I think that's what most Celica owners do, but you could also get the 1-liter ones. But so you just fill it up. You have to approximate 4.8. So usually on the side. Sorry, I'm blocking camera. On the side right here, there's like markers to help you, or marks to help you. So I'm gonna fill it up. To fill up the oil, use this, or you can also make a makeshift one with a water bottle. It's up to you. So you just fill it up with 4.8 gallons of water. Alright, so I filled it up with 4.8 gallons, or about 4.8. So what you do next is, well, first of all, you want to be careful. You don't want to spill oil. But I did a little bit. See, this is a problem, guys. Recording takes a lot more effort. And I don't mind recording it. Just it takes a little bit more, and when I try to be a little bit neat, it never works out. But it always works out better when I'm not. Okay, so after you put your oil in, you lower your car. So you take your car off your jack stands, and you do this so you can start your car and so the oil's level. But before you start your car, you want to check where your oil is at. So there's the dipstick. Alright, let me bring it at light. So if you see the two dots, as long as your oil is between those two dots, then you should be good. My lighting sucks, but my baby. Oh, wiper blades are up. 30 seconds. Alright, my car has been on for almost 30 seconds. That's it. Alright, so I checked my oil is good now. And that's how you do an oil change. Now, the next step is to dispose of the oil. So if you guys can see, there's the oil. And all you gotta do is, if you have a cap, you just bring this container back and bring it to AutoZone or Riley's, any auto parts store, and they'll take it. So I have it there. I poured it in. There's a little bit of mess, but so I poured it all into this empty jug of Castro Edge because I have an empty one because I like using this. See, I have two because I love using Castro Edge. But you pour it in. You go to you have to recycle it. Okay, don't dispose of it in the grass. So you dispose of it properly. After that, your oil's done. And if you did it correctly, car should run. Hypothetically, it should run. And mine's dead, so there you go. That's how you change the oil.